Good afternoon, and you're all very welcome from across the shop, from around the world, from everywhere. This is the Jack Wolf Knives Sharpshooter unboxing. There's a bit of a story now. This was sent to me first class special delivery on Monday. It didn't get here to today. I thought I'd lost it. I thought I'd lost my chance to getting in this review, but my prayers were answered and I got the knife today, just about lunchtime there. And this is how it came. It's all lovely. I love the wrapping like that. It came wrapped. This was from Framar Knives. The details for Framar Knives and how to contact them will be down below in the description, because unlike most American companies, this release is also here in the UK, which I can't tell you how much pleases me. And look, I am a slip joint collector, user who just happens to be a YouTuber. I like all knives, but my passion has led me to slip joints this last couple of years, and I have never been more happy since I found them, because it's opened up a whole new avenue in my life as far as knife related things go. I'm going to open this today with a beautiful Ashley Harrison. This is maple, dyed maple. It's absolutely beautiful. This will be the next knife I'll be reviewing, along with a lot of other of Ashley knives. Look at that Damascus. It is just stunning. All hand done. Now, let's get into this. I can't tell you how much I've been waiting for this knife. Ben Belkin, who is the owner-operator of Jack Wolf Knives, has been put through the ringer to get this knife to us. He's had to change OEMs. This is made overseas. We don't know who the overseas company is. Part of the contract Ben had to sign was that he couldn't release that. And I don't care, because I've seen these knives from the very beginning when they were just drawings. And I've followed Ben. I met him about a year and a half ago, maybe a bit longer, on another podcast. It wasn't a podcast, it was just a chat show. And I met him then, and we'd been in contact. Now, I call him a friend. I'll probably never meet him, but I do call him a friend because he is just a genuinely great guy. And this first release is in honor of his grandfather, who was called Jack Wolf. So there you go. That's the basics. Let's just get into it. That's really good. This is so well wrapped. Framar knives are definitely old school. The service you get is old school. It's lovely. I really, really appreciate that. It's a dying art. And oh, look at this now. Actually, you're for Stephen, aka Paddy. Lovely. It's father and son team over there. Frank and Andrew, just two lovely, lovely fellas. And this is my Jack Wolf knives. Look, I'm going to get like an excited schoolgirl during this. I can't tell you. I sulked for the last 2 days really badly, because this was, say, sent on a Monday. It was supposed to be next day delivery, and it didn't come to Thursday. If you're a knife lover and if you're as passionate as I am, that's not good for your mental health. And I mean that. I was in a depression, and the tracking just went dead from when it got to the airport in England, and it just stopped on Monday. And at 1:10 this morning, I think it was, the tracking changed, and I was awake because I haven't been able to sleep properly for the last 2 days. And I've seen the tracking coming through. I woke my wife up so we could double check the tracking, and there we go. That's the story. That's Paddy for you. So what's in here? Lovely. Oh, now I've seen the unboxing of this, but this is my unboxing, and this is where I get to feel special. That's a really lovely box. I like that box. I like that box because it gives rigidity to postage. And look at this. Beautiful. Now, is that not just special? Would you not feel special at getting this knife? Modern interpretation of a timeless design. You couldn't put nicer words. 4 words. Absolutely beautiful. This lovely embossed logo of Jack Wolf, who is a sharpshooter in this one. Knives on the side and Jack Wolf knives there. Beautiful. And there's your bottom. And this is the Sharpshooter Jack. Oh, let's get that up for you. Sharpshooter Jack, fat carbon, DM blue. Oh, this is mine. I don't get a whole... Well, I have got a few higher end knives, but the reason this one's more special is because I have followed Ben from... I first met him... Well, I followed him before I met him on the tubes, but it's personal. Does that make sense? It's personal. It's one of us who has stepped out of the darkness and decided, right, I'm going to do one that I want. Look at that on the top. Again, it's embossed. There's been no expense spared in this. This is an expensive knife, but this is an expensive knife that I know that I'd be happy to pay for. I just know it. But I've seen reviews that are on YouTube, but I've never touched one. So there we go. You get this box. And then inside this box, let me just get my wee knife in there so as I don't break this. There we go. Inside this box, you get this. How flippin' cool. How flippin' cool is that? There's Jack Wolf, the sharpshooter. You can see his rifle. And there we go, sharpshooter on the side. Is that not beautiful? I'm going to stop here because this artwork is done by Sean Tiffany, who has done artwork for Marvel Comics. Now, I was never a Marvel. I was a Beano and Dandy. Very, very simple fella I am. Very, very simple. And but Marvel I'd heard of as a child in the UK. Well, later on, I suppose. But this is just stunning. And each tin in the different varieties, which will be following about one a month for a while. We'll just have to see how things go, how these sell. But it'll be rapid succession. He's going to be bringing out. Now, there's limited numbers, because this is the first run. We will go back to this pattern. When, I don't know, but it'll be different materials so that yours will be yours and yours alone from the first run. I think that is just super. It's just lovely. Look at the detail in the bottom of that tin. You have no need to have that in the bottom of the tin, but it just looks good. And it's like a bullet has gone through it. It's just a bullet through glass. It's just a touch that you don't need to have, but yet costs Ben money. To get this sort of artwork done by this stature of a man costs money. It's a metal tin. He was on a show the other night. I think he had to buy 20,000 or something, or 2,000 tins. I can't remember, but it was a lot of thousand tins to get them at the price he needed to get them at. So I hope this goes well for him. Look at that, embossed in the top, more cost. So do you need all this for a knife? No, you don't need it. But when somebody has gone to the trouble to make the whole experience just beyond anything that's out there, it's beyond anything that's out there, in my eyes. Screw lid. Oh, and I'm led to believe this is a pog. Now, I'm a 60s child, so pogs weren't around in my day that I can remember anyway. But there's the Sharpshooter Jack sitting on a wall with his rifle. And it's a pretty good rifle too. That must be a 50 cal Sharpshooter's rifle. Oh, I just dropped my pog. There we go. So you get the pog. You get the lid that's embossed with Jack Wolf. I just love all this. Inside it, let's go here first, because, oh, look at this. You get the Jack Wolf sticker, which will be going up here, right head and shoulders in the front of my box. After this is all over, you get the pog, and then you get a big orange cloth. And this is a microfiber cloth. How cool looking is that? That is just stunning. And you get a leather sheath that has got Jack Wolf knives on it, embossed on the sheath. This is part of the whole experience. Nice supple sheath, soft on the inside, nice and tight, so it'll form fit to your knife after you've used it. And I will carry it in this. Why wouldn't you want to carry it in this? You don't need to buy another one when you've got that sort of... I'm not one of these ones that likes the clip sheath, so this is perfect for me. And if you like the clip sheath, farewell. I mean, they're great. The idea is great. I just don't sort of like them in use. But This is absolutely perfect. We'll see how that fits as we go down the line. I'm going to turn this up, put this up here for now. We'll come back to everything. Look at that. Did he need to do it? But not only that, did he need to do it so well? It's not just coloured. You can see, if I let you see this, this is properly, I don't know what you call it, is embossed. I don't know whether knitting's embossed, not very good at all that. But you get this beautiful microfiber cloth in bright orange. Put it in your backpack when you're going shooting in the forest. Oh, oh, it's every bit as nice as it looked on the YouTubes. You get this beautiful cloth. Oh my giddy aunt. First impressions, what do you think? Oh man, it is beautiful. There's lovely flecks of blue all over it. It is just stunning. This is dark matter, fat carbon fiber, I believe. My goodness, that is so smooth. I love just checking right the edges here just to see that they're all. Now, they're not only just all right, they're absolutely perfect. Screwed construction, which is part of the modern, the carbon fibre. Although there is traditional knives that use carbon fibre, not very many, but these are screwed in. And look, let me tell you, there's been quite a few of our boys in YouTube that have produced knives recently. They're all about the same price as this. People have this thing to think that a knife that is made a slip joint is easier to make. It's not. It is not. That's a complete fallacy. To get these things to work properly takes so much precision. Very easy to get it very wrong very quickly. This is a modern traditional. The modern part of it. Let's get the basics. For those of you who are not slip joint people, the modern bit is a screwed construction. An integral titanium frame and bolsters. Well, this is a bolster and I call this the end cap. And this carbon fiber is set on top of the titanium. It's, this is a full titanium bit. Normally on a traditional knives, you'll get a liner and then they actually they pin another bolster on the bolster and an end cap on top of that. This is integral, which is more expensive because it's titanium and a modern material. I'm just going to have you, let's get up close and just let you see it. Look at that titanium. It is lovely. It's that, I don't know how to feel it. It's smooth, but there's like a very, like a bead blast sort of feel to it, which is lovely. I really, really like it. It just sets off this carbon fiber, and I'm sure it's exactly the same with the, what do you call it? Micarta. There's going to be one, each release is going to have one carbon fiber, which maybe with yeah, I'm excited. I told you. Different flecks of colour through, and then you'll have a black OD green and a natural micarta, which will come. So there's something there for everybody. The micarta, no, we'll go to the price in a wee minute. And I'm not hiding the price because I would pay this. I'm not. I'm getting this for nothing. So this is Paddy being a big mouth, if you want to call me a big mouth, but I would be buying this. And I have bought other knives at that price out of my own pocket. And I'll show you some of them in a minute. Look at that back spring. This is what we always talk about, fit and finish. Look at that. With titanium, you have one of the most just flush without any sign. And look at this. This is like the coffin finish, as I would call it, penknives would call it. It's that coffin finish. But adding all these different angles, it all adds up in the price. Look at that. Beautiful flat bottom there. And the cutoff here is absolutely perfect. There's the blade sitting in the... It's only just up the middle. Did you expect anything less from Ben? No, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. And I've seen most of his collection. How fantastic does that look? Come on. You just can't. I just think it is so amazing. And I think the expectation has really got to me this time. There's no other knife that I have got that has made me this excited. No other knife. None. Now, again, the modern bit is the materials, the fact that it's screwed and not pinned, and then the blade steel, which on this is M390. So it'll last you for days. You're not going to worry about it whatsoever. And now I want to hear the walk and talk. And the walk and talk is when you open the knife and close the knife, and the sounds it make. Good walk and talk is the fidget factor for slip joints. That's what it is. It's the fidget factor for slip, because I can sit and do it until my wife goes bananas. Lovely. Now, I would say that's about a 6.5 to me. About a 6.5. But I'll shut up and do it. That is some of the nicest walk and talk I have ever heard coming from a knife. Oh my gosh, look at them grind lines. It's a full, I'm going to clean that off. It's a full hollow ground. How often do you see that now in any knives? Look at that. And the crescent nail nick there, crescent moon sort of nail nick, it is beautiful. But look at them grind lines. How straight and just regimented are they? That is beautiful. What's it feel like? Oh my giddy aunt. Do you know, you watch videos, and I don't have any knives, well, except for some of my older slip joints and smaller ones that have. That is between 9 and 12 degrees, apparently. That actually feels like it's definitely the lower end. It's just stunning. I don't know how sharp it is. Let's just have a wee look and see how sharp it is. Oh, sorry, bring that out there. It's beautiful. And, it's going to get a strop too, because every one of my new knives will get a strop, because there's always a little tiny burr there. The factory doesn't have time to sit and strop all these knives. But how lovely. This is fluting. This is what's called fluting, or just lined bolsters. That's what we call them in the slip joints. There's the name, Jack Wolf. You can see it there. Well and truly etched into their deep etch. And then M390. And that is it. That is it for advertising on this knife. This knife is going to make its mark from... Look at that clip point. Come on. You'd have to be dead from the neck up not to just wonder at how... Look, I can't show you how thin this is. There's no way I could get that to you at how thin it is. It nearly disappears when you look down it. It is beautiful. The grind is absolutely perfect. Look at that grind. I have to get... There you go. You can see the grind, and it's exactly the same on this side. Let me just see if I can get this to... It's so hard to get. Take my word for it, that grind is exactly the same as the other side. It is beautiful. You can see it better down there. It's a beautiful grind, really even, up to an incredibly sharp tip. But it doesn't even... Yes, it's a real sharp tip. You wouldn't want to be doing any... That's funny. Let's just talk about one of the reviews I've seen. I just want to get this out of the way because I'm a slip joint guy. And the one thing as a slip joint guy, you tell everybody in the world, a slip joint is not for stabbing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing do you stab with a slip joint. Here's what... This is how you use a slip joint if you want to poke through something like that. If that knife doesn't go through whatever this subject material is, if it doesn't do that, don't do it. Get a fixed blade. Get whatever you want. You don't stab with a... just please take that out of the way. Never make that mistake, because it's a slip joint. If you force it the wrong way, or if it hits a solid material, it will fall and cut you. So just in case you're absolutely new about, I'm sure most of you are not, but there'll be other people who are not in the community who have maybe never had a slip joint, and this is something they want. Modern material is going to last them for days. That modern look, which I think is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But they never used a slip joint. And slip joints is just something you get used to. Within a week or two, you'll have it cracked. There's not a problem. But you don't stab. You just don't stab. You don't push down at the end of the blade. Unless I will do it if I'm going to do a piece of work. If I'm touching the surface, then I'll put my finger down to add pressure to that point and draw. Take your finger off again. You do not push that down. This is such a firm and proper. Look at that mate up. I just keep seeing things that, look at the mating up of them two blades. It's hard to see that. Look at that. And I done that as gently as I could. There's not a single gap. It is perfect. So when I'm cutting, I'll have my finger here, because I like to have my finger up near the choil, that if it did happen to slip, now look at the pressure I'm putting, look at that. If it did happen to slip or I hit something in the back, I don't know what I would hit. Never done it. But it'll not close on me, or there's less chance of it closing on me. I always like to get up as close as I can. You know, even if it's that hard that you couldn't break the detent. But this, can I do it one-handed? Yeah, one-handed, just. It's just within my limit of doing that. Look at that action up to the half stop, which is just a safety thing so that you don't slam it all the way over in case your finger's here. It gives you a chance to get out of the way and then push the knives down. Now, the nice thing about the modern knives, and I'm just going to, I knew as much, because there's no room. The ricasso here would normally stick down below the blade, which hits the bottom of the spring, so that this blade won't hit the bottom of the spring. So there's usually a pronounced bit out at the bottom here that stops it doing that. In a modern knife, let me just see if I can get you in there. Oh, there you are, you can see it. If you look just down here, there's a little pin goes across there, and that's where the bottom of this contacts and keeps the rest of the blade from getting blade wrap. I'm sure you've heard of that. And it's where this part of the blade, usually where the middle pin is, because that's your pivoting pin for the spring. Usually, if you're going to get blade wrap, that's where you'll get it there. There would be a pin there on traditional knives. There we go. I'll just show you. You'll have a nice large pin there, which is at the center, which your spring pivots on. And so that's why. But a modern knife will have a pin across here so that this is landing on the pin. You can see the shiny area there. That's where it's going to land on the pin. That sound is just gorgeous. And I don't want to keep gushing, but I have to. I have to. So, no stabbing, out. Never bring that up again. Do want to know, there's no stabbing with a slip joint. You put the point of the blade up to the surface that you want to puncture, push it. But don't stab. Push and go down. That way all the pressure is up into the blade. So you push and then go down. You don't go up, because again, that's going to bring your blade down. So, sorry, I just got off track. I hear people saying that, you know, oh, you can't stab with a slip joint. No, it's a slip joint. It's a pocket knife. You don't stab with it. This is not a weapon. It's a tool. Do you know what I mean? This is a tool. I just can't tell you that grind is, I can't take my eyes off it. I keep going back to how thin and how beautiful that grind is. It is just stunning. It's like a satin grind with just the grind lines on it. I've not seen better on any knife. I've not seen better. I've seen some of the same, but I've not seen better. That is beautiful. But the fit and finish all the way around this knife, I mean, do you know, I haven't even held it in hand. And people say, oh, there's nothing to a slip joint, you just pull it open. There is. If you're a slip joint person, there's so much that you want to check out. There's so much going on behind the scenes in a slip joint that it's sometimes not as quick as a modern knife, because there's so many places, especially the hand fitment, because there's no clip or whatever, the hand placement is usually easier to get right than wrong. But again, a lot of the times it can be wrong, especially when you're doing a gun stock, which has this. That's simply what it looks like. It's just the gun stock of a gun, of a rifle. So the first two fingers here, again, I go right up. Ben, did you take my hand and model? I always knew I could be a hand model. Do you not think so yourself? What a beautiful grip. What a beautiful grip. And I mean, that is so neutral and so well done. This is rounded over here. This isn't sharp. I'm going to bring it up to you. It's not sharp. It's not rounded over, but look how clean that is inside. There's no weight relief, because why would you? This knife weighs about 2.5 ounces. It's just, that's what your Delica weighs. So you're getting titanium. There you go, look. Integral titanium on a slip joint with carbon fibre, a good size of a blade, although it's so thin. Look, I'm telling you, you could sharpen up to there, without any problem whatsoever. You could sharpen nearly up to this point and still have a very thin cutting edge that will cut through anything. That's how good that grind is. That's how good that grind is. Will you ever get up there? No, because I believe this is a pocket knife, and unless you're going to beat it to death, I'll cut cardboard box with this. I have no problem cutting a cardboard box. And I just want to show people that I'm not feared. This knife is going to be used. I am going to use this fully as a proper EDC, as I do my other knives. Will it get badly damaged? No, but it's going to start showing marks. This is the other thing. I heard somebody say the other night, I'm not even going to mention names, but this is about 3mm across the back here, going into a swedge, which, if you've known any of my reviews, the swedge on both sides, to me, on both sides, makes a knife just perfect. It really just adds to that special look of a knife. So it's about 3mm, but it's a hollow grind. You're not going to see that in many slip downs. We're not going to see a hollow grind this deep, because this is coming from the top right to the bottom. Why is that? Why did Ben do that? Right. If you'd watched his video, he put videos out to explain to people, but if you didn't watch the video, this 3mm spine is substantial. It gives you a good spring. It gives you a nice thickness, because you don't want a wee skinny in it. Well, I don't want a skinny knife. I want a knife, of this size with a 3-inch blade, roughly 4-inch handle. I want that knife to be able to feel comfortable in my hand. I don't want to. I've got skinny knives if I want to use them, but this to me is a proper working knife for EDC work. See my EDC work. But look, this is this knife. There's 2 fingers there, right? And 1 finger on the back. Look at this, a bit of cardboard. Oh, that's just... I've got to do that again. Look, this is how thin this is. Look, if you've been about any knives, let me tell you, if this doesn't... There's 2 fingers and 1 at the top, and I'm just... Look at that. Straight to the bottom, slowly, because I can. It's just phenomenal. So yes, this knife is going to give you... Why would you not use that for opening a box? Why would you not? This is not a safe queen for me. In fact, none of these are going to be safe queens. I'm not going to destroy them because they're too expensive and they're just beautiful. I don't want to destroy them, but I want to use them. And that's maybe the difference between that. And here's another knife that costs about the same price. Look, if you're on mine, you know that is one of my favourite knives, but I don't use it much. I just don't use it. It has a beautiful satin grind. This is more for being to sit at night time with and fondle. It's a fondler. But most of my other knives, unless they're fondlers, get used. Not hard, but get used. And I'm sure that's what Ben would want. Yes, if you just want to put this away as a safe queen, Ben will be more than happy. And it doesn't... It's your money and you do whatever you want. Stop following the herd. You don't have to do what everybody else says. You don't have to do what everybody else says. Now, the other thing about these knives is Ben says don't take them apart. Okay, I'm not taking them apart. Ben's the maker. Ben's the designer and designed every part of this. He's not telling you not to take it apart because he thinks you're going to make a mistake or you're going to do something silly. This back spring, some of them are, they'll all be a little bit different, but to get a back spring back in again, to get the blade fitted onto it, you nearly need a jig, or this, you can damage the inside of the knife. And why would you want to take that apart when it's been mated? Somebody has had to smooth this all the way after it's been put together. So think of how delicate that's going to have to be, that it doesn't affect, because one slip over this way, you've wrecked the carbon fibre. You'll have to take it off, start again. And every little piece of carbon fibre or micotta is individual. And if you take the scale off, they're numbered on the inside, the same number as the knife on the inside. They all match because they're hand fitted, so that you can't not hand fit. This is something you have to do. It's hand fitted, so that it's absolutely perfect for your knife. Look at that. There's not the slightest bit of a gap. I mean, these are just beautiful materials that are put together by craftsmen, not by somebody in a wee sweatshop at the back of it. This is by craftsmen. The same as GEC do it, and they used older material. This is newer machinery that's you're going to get water jets and all that. Although GEC have started using that as well. But the machinery GEC are made for traditionals, to keep it done the old way. It's not going to be as precise as this, but you could get this wrong. To get that grind is a masterstroke. A masterstroke. It is beautiful. Have I gushed? I'm trying to think of the other things that... yeah, he says don't take it apart. You can take it apart, but he says you don't need to. It's a slip joint. And that's the bit you got to remember. It's a slip joint. I'll never take that apart because it's pinned. But it'll work till the day I die. No problem. As long as I maintain it. And the same with the other knives. Just the maintenance on these is so much easier. If you're in the muck and whatever, come in, hot water, run your hot water in your tap, give it a real good rinse out. Then give it a dry off, and then blow the air in. Get the air in around the blade, where the blade is in here. Get it in there, close it, put it in the top. You get these little air things. This is a pound in the wee pound shop. You get a little straw there, goes in the end of it, and you can blow it in there, get all the gunk out. Then dry it thoroughly. Dry it thoroughly with a hair. I use a hairdryer. Some people will just air dry it or use cotton buds. I use a wee hairdryer. I'll get most of the water out, a bit of hairdryer, not on high heat, and just give it a good hairdrying all around till it's dry. Then, more importantly, well, I use KPL. You can use whatever you like. I just recommend this one. Oil your joints, top, in at the side. I put it right round. You don't have, everybody has a different way. And then I'll also put a wee drop either side. And I mean a little drop. This does not need a whole lot. This one has washers, brass washers in there, or bronze, whatever they are. But look, Ben, congratulations. Congratulations, because this is just better than I expected. And I genuinely mean that. It's better than I expected. Oh, that's lovely. Now, can you see the way that has pushed that leather? That is lovely leather, actually. It's unusual. It's not, maybe the sides aren't burnished the way normal, but it's like a man's leather. It's not fanciful. It's a man's leather, and I'm a man. And I've got a Jack Wolf Sharpshooter. That is beautiful. That will wear in beautifully, and that's the way I'll carry it. And I carry it in these for two reasons. One, I don't want it to get too damaged with coins. You know, it will get wear eventually, and then, you know, over time. But it just stops the muck and dirt from getting in around your knife. If you're just throwing it in a pocket that you would maybe put other things. Now, myself personally, this will go in my right pocket, along with a clip knife maybe. Or it'll go with a Victorinox. So the last thing I'm going to do is some size comparisons of knives that I have. And I just want you, there's the Victorinox with, we all know it's a 91mm. It's not far off it. Even the blade is not far. It's a little bit bigger, but you know this is hand filling and you can work. So it's giving you a good idea of what size that knife is. Let me go to some other ones. I showed you that one, which is, this is an MDK. And this one is the only other gun stock I have. You can see that it's a bit of a different shape of a gun stock. It's not as pronounced, but you can see the gun stock shape. This is an old Northwoods, but in the Dave Shirley era, made by Queen. And it's a beautiful knife as well. Again, roughly the same size. This one, I would say, would be, this has got to be, oh, it's actually a bigger blade on that one. This is my GEC 2 Acorn Barlow. Another one that I absolutely love. And look at them Barlows. Now, this is a proper working knife, and so is that. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Look at them blades. I love GEC, but my goodness, this is modern. So I don't expect this to look like this. This is bone. This is, a man-made material. It's never going to look like this. The bolsters on this are nickel silver, and they shine, and you can shine them up. That's a traditional knife. And here's another one. Here's a modern one. Well, I'm saying modern. This is sort of something in between. This is a twisted assisted Barlow that's just about to be released. This is in G10, nickel silver, and blade stock, or the blade material is not going to be as high end as 390. I think this is going to be D2 or something. No, VG10. But it's a nice shape and a nice knife, but you can see the difference. You can see the difference. This is just high class. Now, the price for this knife, and I didn't hide it because what it is what it is, and it's what it costs to get it made to this standard with these things and this beautiful cloth. This knife in the carbon fiber is $275 over here in the UK. $275, $250 for the micarta. Now, there's been maybe 3 or 4 of people in our community have done knives. They've all been modern, but that's the price their knives are coming in at. This couldn't come in any cheaper. And, I think it's not any better. I'm not going to say it's better than their knives. That's just nonsense. This is different. But the amount of effort that has gone in to advertise this, to get it through what Ben has been through in the last year and a half with COVID and all, has been horrendous. But the knife is worth the money. Not the COVID, not all this here. This is extra. This knife is beautiful. As I say, this knife cost the same price, and it's just in well, this is micarta, I think, micarta and G10. So to me, yeah, it's worth this knife. Are you going to buy every one of them? If you're well off, yeah. And good on you. I would have the whole collection without a shadow of a doubt, because it's that good a knife. I would have the whole collection if I could afford it. Now, I'll get some from Ben, hopefully. I'm hoping, because I just think this is fantastic and a user for me. If you can't afford it, well, there's going to be plenty more down the line. Save, because here, I'm telling you, this is Paddy telling you. I don't tell fibby poos, but this is worth saving up. $250 for the micarta version or $275, definitely. Is it beyond everybody? No. There's some people will never spend that much because they need it to run their house and keep their bills. That's fine. There's plenty of other great knives. I mean, this one's about 35 quid. Great knife. But if you want a high-end knife, and look, you see when you come around this community and you start off with your cheaper, I started off at the bottom and worked up. I had Ganzos. That was my stock knife. I now really get to appreciate what them other boys were saying that I thought, you're daft. I'll never spend that in a penknife. This is not wild. It's not wild. And for the fit and finish that's on it, for the, even the story, everything about it, the artwork, the leather, the pog, the sticker, it comes in a tin. Do you know what I mean? How good is that? And I would love to see a big row of these right across the top of that cupboard up there, because I could look at them all day. Right, I think I've gushed enough. Ben, thank you so much for sending me this knife. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. For those who have listened to me for 39 minutes, take care, everybody. I'm away for a really well-earned cup of tea. I haven't had a sip. Any questions, please get me down below. Ben might be in later on and I'll maybe answer ones that I haven't. But thank you so much. Framar knives, go to them now, buy the knife. You'll not get them delivered out till tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Get your name down and buy one. There's not many. This is small releases. We're down to single figures in Framar knives. Do not let this go. Get over, pay it, book it to get it tomorrow. They'll be released tomorrow. All right. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away to play with his knife. Night night.